Okay, chapter 18, performance measurement. Performance measurement. So performance measurement, you can see from the point 1, performance measurement and the planning and also the control system. Okay, so everything starts from planning, and then once we got the planning, of course we need to measure. So when we have measurement, and then we see are we on track or not on track, then we can apply proper control. Okay, no? So planning, measurement and control. So you can see from here, performance measurement is about comparing your standard or comparing the actual result against your target. So when you look at this one, you can just quickly go through lah. Okay, you can even skip this part here. So we move on to the next part in terms of measurement. Okay, measurement. So you can see here mission statements. We have goals, we have objectives, okay, and critical success factor. So when we look at the company's mission, okay, later we're going to bring in also the company's vision. So the company must got a vision, the company must got a mission, the company has got a goal, company must got objectives. So they sound quite, I mean, in terms of the meaning here, they are quite similar. So company must got a vision, okay, missions, they must got a goal as well as objectives. So we can put it as such that this one will be more of long term. Company's vision, company's mission more of the longer term, okay, and the company's goals and objectives are more of shorter term lah. Alright, so you can see here in all company here, there are company structures. We have the strategic level, okay, we got a tactical level as well as the operational level. So when it comes to vision and also mission, normally it will be set by the top management. Okay, they will be set by the top management. So what is vision, what is mission? You can see here visions are the main one. Okay, so what is the company's vision? But of course not in the syllabus here. Then we have the mission statement. Okay, the company's got a mission, they must got a statement stating their mission. We call this the mission statement. Okay, so this is the statement. Alright, so some of the characteristic of a company's mission, it must be brevity, means it must be brief, simple, not too long. Flexibility means can accommodate change, it can change, and it must be distinctive, means must be outstanding, and or must be different. Okay, distinctive. So over here I have two examples of a company's mission statement. Okay, I got this from the internet lah. So you can see this is the mission statement of the Walt Disney, okay, the company that owns Disneyland and most of the cartoon portfolio. Okay, so the missions of Walt Disney company is to be one of the world leading producer. Yeah, they produce movie, cartoon movies, and provider of entertainment, for example Disney and information. So to produce and provide, they want to produce and provide entertainment using portfolio of brand to differentiate their content. So their portfolio of brand, so they have many brand. Example lah, so Disney, what do they have? They have Mickey Mouse, I think they have Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. So these are their portfolio of brand, okay, to differentiate their content, their services and consumer product. Okay, their content, they do provide services, they do have products, and develop the most creative, innovative, profitable entertainment experiences and entertainment experience and the related. So this one considered actually quite long lah, but it's, you can compare them to Nike, to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. So just one sentence, mission statement. Of course this one is just one statement lah. I compare it to Nike, of course it's long lah, but it's still just one paragraph, so considered not too bad lah, brief enough. Okay, so this is the mission statement. Okay, if you go to the bigger company, sometimes when you enter the office, the main office, sometimes they got one plaque, and okay, stated there their vision, their mission. Okay, stated there. You can see lah. Okay, not sure about company, but I can check if you have. So these are some of the element of a company's mission. Okay, element means what must they have here. Okay, what must they have here means they must got a purpose, okay, of the company. They must got a strategy, the product or services it offer, and therefore its competitive position. Okay, the mission means what are the product that they offer, okay, and their competitive position. So what is their advantage? What's the advantage of the product? Okay, the strategic scope means they're defined by the boundaries of manager. It says so the strategic means their mission. Geographical, they want to expand geographical area, as in they want to expand to Asia, expand Europe. Okay, the type of market they want to be in. Alright, the policy and the behavior, as well as the value. So the mission needs to be converted into everyday performance. Okay, excellent service like politeness to customer, speed of phone call are answered. So your mission is to be number one. Okay, top. Your mission is to provide entertainment. So you must got this kind of standard behavior. Okay, not? So example, Disneyland, Disney. Okay, the product target small kid, young children. You can see. Okay, and when you work in the company, you must set the kind of standard here. We are dealing with young children. Children is the market, but of course, who bring them there? Parent. Okay, who want their sons or kids to be happy, or even themselves. So they must set the kind of standard and policy. So example here, the company's policy, you want to achieve the mission. Okay, this mission, you must set the kind of policy or behavior. Example, let's say you're in the hotline business, okay, or helpline business. We will answer call within 3 rings. 3 times ring. Okay, 3 times the call must be answered. This is the company's policy. Okay, not? This is the company's policy. Alright, and then standard of behavior means whenever you return, let's say you're McDonald's, whenever you return the money, you must smile. Okay, must be show a happy face. This is the behavior you must have when you serve customer. So the policy, the standard behavior. Okay, and then the next one will be the value and the culture. So companies, they have their values. Company, when they sell, they don't just sell product, they sell the value, they sell their culture. Example, McDonald's. Okay, McDonald's, so we know they sell burger. Okay, but in terms of the value, the culture is they promote family bonding. Okay, not? So you look at the seats that they prepare in the restaurant are very, very small, so that they want you to sit very near to each other. They promote this kind of value, family value. Okay, not? So normally, who will be the happiest when you go to McDonald's? The children. Okay, they have the kind, they promote the kind of culture. Okay, the value, sell it to the kids. Okay, promote family value. Okay, they don't tell you, okay, they don't promote, oh, we are selling burger. Okay, so it's the family value that they are promoting. Okay, so to achieve this mission, company must got the value, the culture. Okay, sell the value, sell the culture. Right? So the next one will be goal and objectives. So goal and objectives, this is goal. Goal meaning, yeah, the company here, the operational goal means I want to cut costs. Okay, what's the objective? Objective is 5%. Okay, example is I want to lose weight. This is goal. Objective, my objective here is to lose 10 kg in half a year, 6 months. Can you see? This is goal is to lose weight, cut costs. What's your objective? 5%. What's your objective? 10 kg. Alright? So there should be a goal congruence. Goal congruence means same, similar goal. Okay? As in over here, consistent. Okay? Different people in an organization, example, top management, the boss, their goal is high profit. Staff will be high salary. Okay, so you can see here, if it's high salary means profit will go down. Can you see? Boss goal is to increase profit, but your goal is to increase salary. Company increase salary, which in turn result in lower profit. Can you see? You and your boss, you have two different goals. Okay, so company must set a goal which is same, similar and consistent throughout the company. Okay, everybody try to achieve the same goal. Okay, so this is called goal congruence. Now, these are some of the objectives. I mean, these are some of the characteristics. So they must be, the objective must be specific, must be measurable, attainable, result-oriented, time-bounded. Example, you don't say you want to lose weight, lose 10 kg within 6 months. Okay, very specific, 10 kg, and it can be measured. Is it attainable? 10 kg not within 1 day lah. 1 day means not attainable. 6 months, yes, is attainable. And result oriented, yes, 10 kg. Time bounded, yes, within how long? 6 months. Okay, so these are some of the characteristics of a objectives. So you must be very specific on what you want to achieve, and you must be able to be measured, attainable and time bounded. Alright, so these are some of the examples. Okay, increase in number of customer, this is goal. By how many percent? 10%. So we have the objectives here. Whose objective? Sales department's objective. Reduce the number of reject by 50%. Whose objective? Production department's objective. Alright, and so the next one will be critical success factor. So example, now top management, they will set the kind of mission. Vision is the main one. Okay, vision, then we have the vision. This is a long-term mission, long-term vision. So you want to be, let's say, top in the world. Okay, of course, to be top in the world over 5 years, there are many ways. So you have many ways, like 1, number 2, it could be number 3. So there are many ways to achieve. Okay, take over company to be number 1. Okay, number 2 now. Growing the company to be number 1. So there are a few ways, or you can have a joint venture, maybe enter into a lot of joint venture with many company to be number 1 top in 5 years time. So company must set vision, missions, okay, what they want to be and how to get there. From here to here we have 3 options, okay, 3 strategy. So company will choose one, okay, maybe by choose number 2, growing the company. So from here to be top by growing the company, okay, along the way, okay, to be the top, we must identify the critical success factor. Critical success factor. So example, over here, you want to be number 1, you must identify what is a success factor. Okay, a very important success factor to be number 1. So it can be any of this. Profitability is very important, market share, productivity, okay, employees attitude. So personal development are very important. Example, yeah, many years back, Volkswagen is number 2, second place, top is Toyota. Okay, so they are not so popular in Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, okay, and probably some other country like India lah. Okay, example lah, not popular in Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, India. They are number 2. So they want to be top within 5 years. They have identified, okay, to be top they must go to this Malaysia market, India market, Thailand market and India market. Okay, they must start selling in this market. So if they start selling in this 4 market, Malaysia, India, Indonesia, Thailand, India, if they start selling in this market, then the volume will go up, then they can be number 1. So their critical success factor is to operate in Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand and India. If they don't sell car in this market, they can't be number 1. They have identified their critical success factor. Okay, so second factor, I'll put it this way. Second factor that they identify is they must increase the market share. In China, okay, China and Japan, they are popular in China and Japan, but they must increase the market share for them to be number 1. So they have identified 2 critical success factor. Okay, they have identified 2 critical success factor. So what else? Critical success factor can be employees attitude. Probably this one will be very important for those in the service industry. Okay, must always smile, okay, happy, treat company well, customer well, then the company should be able to do well. So this is their success factor. Some company will be based on productivity. Cost is very important. If they are able to reduce the cost, they can be successful. Okay, so when you have two critical success factor, this is critical success factor number 1, critical success factor number 2. So we want to measure. Okay, you don't wait until year 5, then only you see, well, am I number 1 or am I still number 2? No. Okay, in year 1, year 2, probably in year 3, in year 4, we must measure, compare our actual result. Probably we want to compare with the budgeted result. Are we on track? Okay, not? So in terms of market share, my market share, budget, compare actual, compare with the budget. So along the way, we must keep on measuring. So to make sure that we are always on track to be number 1. So all this involve money, monetary means financial, and non-financial. Okay, so when we come to measurement, we have financial measurement, non-financial measurement. Okay, not? So when we come to measurement, so we must look at the KPI. Okay, key performance indicator. So we look at the indicator and we measure. All right. Okay. So earlier mentioned to you, performance measurement, it can be financial or non-financial, nothing to do with this. So we are moving more. This one is important. Financially is important. This is also equally important. Okay, not? So now performance measurement. Last time we focused a lot on financial, money, but nowadays non-financial performance measurement is as important as financial. So both are very, very important. Okay, not? So these are some of the examples of non-financial indicator. So it's non-financial, nothing to do with monetary value. So in order to measure company's performance, okay, so we can measure based on the company's customers' complaint. Okay, last time 5%, now reduced to 3%. Okay, so customers' complaint has reduced. Customers' complaints has reduced. Good. Meaning we are able to probably increase our market share. Okay, means customer will be come back, repeat customer, so we are able to achieve our objective here. So measure along the way number of customers complaint. Example, we can also measure customer satisfaction. Satisfaction last time is 80%, now satisfaction 85%. Okay, not? So example of non-productive time, you can put there that these are non-productive time. Last time 1 month we have 100 hours non-productive time. However, we are able to reduce it to 90 hours per month non-productive time. So this is more on production side lah. Alright. So other example here, it can be service performed late. Compare, let's say you have performed 1000 services, how many were late? 50 were late. So 5% of your delivery is total service is considered late. However, last time it is 8%. So good lah, it has reduced. Warranty claim has reduced. Good. Equipment failure per 100 unit, it has reduced. Good. So these are non-financial indicator, right? So not everything purely is about money, sales and cost. Of course, it's also important. Alright, performance will be more on sales, cost. Okay, margin, we will learn this later. Okay, in our point number 4, these are all the financial measurement. So we're going to have many formula. Alright, so this one we learned before in FA lah, financial accounting. So it will be the same thing here in management accounting. Alright, so let's look at the main category here. We have number 1, profitability, gross profit margin, net profit margin, ROCE, asset turnover, liquidity. We got 2 liquidity, current and also asset. This one has to come value the measure company's debt. So we have debt, we have interest, and next one is your activity or efficiency ratio. We got 3 here. Okay, inventory, receivable, and payable. Okay, and also of course asset turnover lah. Alright. Okay. Okay. So earlier we have gone through from point 1 to point 3 is about mission and visions. Okay, so it must be brief, must be distinctive, must be unique. Okay, and then what is that? Then we have the objectives, and then we have the goal. So objectives and goal. So objective must be specific, SMART. Alright, and in order to achieve our goal or to achieve our mission, we must actually identify what are the way to achieve our goal. So then we choose one. Okay, so once we have chosen it, we try to identify, okay, to grow the company, so we must identify what are the critical success factor. So we have many different company will have different critical success factor. Okay, now some company, their critical success factor is cost. You can lower your cost, you can be successful. Some company is about market. You can go into Asian market, you can get their support, you can be number 1 or probably increasing market share. Okay, so many. So once we are able to identify the critical success factor, that we must be able to measure, okay, the performance. So they'll be given a KPI and then we must measure. So the measurement can be financial in the form of financial, or the measurement can be in the form of non-financial. Right? So non-financial will based on the late delivery, downtime, okay, customer satisfaction, number of rejects. Then now we go on to financial measurement. Okay, so this is the company's SPL and this is the company's SFP. So we have a profitability, gross profit margin, gross profit margin, it will be gross profit over sales times 100%. Net profit margin means net profit over sales. Net profit margin will be profit before interest and tax divided by sales. So this is gross profit, this is profit before interest and tax. Both are profit lah. One is gross, one is net. Then we have our ROCE, PBIT, divided by capital employed. Okay. ROE. Profit after tax. Okay, so this is profitability ratio. So we look at this example. Profitability. So this is company A, this is company B. Okay. Okay, check. PBIT. This is also known as operating profit. Okay, it's a profit from operation. Profit from operation. So operating profit. So GP margin is gross profit over sales. So out of your total sales, how much is your gross profit? 39.36, 39.79. So answer is 49%. For B will be 60%. Means every dollar sold, which is 79, 49% is our gross profit. I cannot. Sales is 100%. %, of it, almost half. Okay, almost half is gross of it. In other words, the balance 51% is the cost. 61%, 100% is the sales. 61% is the profit. Means 39% is the cost. Okay, so means every $1 of sales, 49 cents is my gross profit. Okay, now that I sell 76,000, so 39,000 is my gross profit. Okay, next one will be net operating profit, means PBIT over sales. This is your PBIT over sales. %. Means every $1 of sales, 25 cents is your net profit. Okay, so 25%. So 49 from 49%, drop to 25, so there's a drop of 24%. Means out of the 100% sales, 24% is my expenses. Okay, 51% is my cost, 24% is my expenses. Okay, so 33% is a net profit margin. This net profit from sales is 33%. So cost will be $27.7% of sales, means $1 of sales, 27 cents will go to my expenses. Okay, 39 cents will go to my expenses, so I left with 33 cents. Alright, okay, 33 or 34. Okay, alright. 32. Now we're going to focus on these two here, 49% and 60%. We're going to interpret 25% and 33%. So example, GP margin and net profit margin. Yeah, if my sales is 1 unit here, $10, cost is $6, gross profit is 4, expenses, all my expenses I total up, it is 3. So 1 is my net profit. So let's calculate gross profit margin. Gross profit margin is the percentage of gross profit over sales. So gross profit margin is 40%, means every $1 I sell, 40 cents will become my gross profit. 40% is my gross profit, means my cost is 60%. Okay, so cost is 60%. Continue. If I sell 10 unit, 1 unit is $10, 100 unit, 10 unit will be $100, 1 unit 6, 10 unit will 60, gross profit will be 40. And what is my gross profit margin? 40%. 40 divided by 400, 40%. So save. So what can we conclude here? Margin is not affected by volume. So this is a small company, this is a big company. Okay, one sell 1 unit, the smaller one sell only 1 unit, the bigger one sell 10 unit. So they won't affect our GP margin if the selling price and the cost is the same. Selling price and cost per unit, which is $10, cost is $6, is the same for both company. Margin per unit is the same. Okay, 40%. So margin not affected by volume. Okay, not affected by volume. Continue. 100 unit, will be 1,000 because 1 unit will be 10, 1 unit will be 6, margin will be 40, unchanged. So your explanation, margin up because sales up. Is this statement correct? Margin is this one, GP margin. It goes up because sales go up. So this statement is wrong. You can see the sales 10, 100, 1000, sales go up, but margin is still the same. So it's not about the total sales. Okay, it's more on the cost per unit, selling price per unit. Now, example. If one unit is $9, the cost is same at $6 per unit. So what happened to the margin? 3 divided by 9, 13 will be 33.3%. Why do you think the margin dropped? Drop in selling price. Okay, so one unit it was $10, cost is $6, but because you sell more, you give more discount. So you give more discount, selling price drop, margin drop. Can it be because of obsolete product or outdated? Obsolete because it's outdated, you sell it very cheap, margin drop. Okay, so maybe you are new in the market, you have to sell it very cheap. You want to enter market, you sell it very cheap, that's why your margin drop. Another example, 100 unit, selling price is the same, one unit $10, the cost is 500. Okay lah, for 1000 unit it will be 10,000, 580, and now it is 4,002. What is my margin? Margin is 42%. Why increase? Okay, so some will say cost up or cost down, sorry. Some will say cost go down. That's why margin up. You can see from here, 600, 5,008. Actually, the cost goes up. Okay, you sell more, you have more cost. Okay, you sell 100 unit, your cost is 600. Your cost actually goes up. But why your margin goes up? Because now you're making more profit from $1 of sales. So your cost, some will say cost goes down, but actually your cost goes up. So the answer should be margin up because cost per unit down. This statement is correct. Cost up. But why the margin goes up? Because every unit now your cost now is lower. Okay, not per unit is lower. So why? Because you have bulk discount. You buy bulk discount, last time is $6 per unit, now is $5.80 per unit. It's cheaper per unit. So because of the bulk discount. because of lower quality material is being used. That's why it's cheaper. So when it's cheaper, margin is higher compared to 40. Okay, now? So now we have a conclusion here. Margin will not be affected by volume. You sell more, you sell less, you shouldn't affect volume if everything the same. So margin will go up if the selling price up. If the selling price down, margin will go down. Okay? Cost per unit, you are able to reduce your cost per unit, means you're going to achieve more profit per unit, so margin will go up. Okay, not? So if your cost increase, here example, $1,000 unit, selling price remain $10. Your cost instead of $6, now $6.20 per unit. So it is 33,008. So 3,008 divided by 10,000, it is 38%. Why margin drop from 40 to 38? Because my cost per unit goes up. Okay, not because of the OT inefficiency. Okay, higher material use, quality of material being used, higher quality, more expensive, inefficiency, a lot of wastage, therefore cost goes up, margin down. Okay, now move on. If one unit, now we look at the expenses. Net profit margin. What is my net profit margin? Net profit margin is profit divided by sales. Means $1 divided by $10, so it is 10%. Continue. Sell 10 unit. Cost is $6 per unit, so 60. GP margin remain. Expenses up 30. From 3 up to 30, profit is 10. So 10 divided by 100, still 10. Again, net profit margin is not affected by the volume. You sell more, you sell less, if everything maintained, your margin will maintain. Okay? Alright. So 120 divided by 1000, it will be 12%. Why my margin up? Okay, I make more profit now. Is it because expenses is lower? No, expenses is higher. From 30, now is 280. Expenses increase. So why is my margin, means my margin of profit higher? It's because of expenses is proportionally lower. Let's check what I mean by proportionally lower. It is higher but proportionally lower. Okay, $10, how many percent? $6 is 60%, so 40%, and out of $10, $3 will go to my expenses. I received 10, 3 will go to my expenses, 30%. So I left with 10%. So my margin is 10. Okay, let's check what is my proportion. 30%. This one, out of 1,000, only 280 go to expenses, it will be 28%. So can you see why it is, in terms of proportion, percentage, it is lower? So expenses is proportionally lower. That's why margin is higher. Okay? So every one, when it's 1,000, only 28% will go to expenses. Alright? So example, yeah. Salary is 2,000. Salary, expenses is 1,000. So it's 50% lah. So salary is 2,000, and 50% of it is actually your expenses, means you left with 1,000. You left with 50%. Another person, salary is 10,000. Expenses is 3,000. Can you see? B's expenses is higher, but it's only how many percent of his salary? It's only 30%. So he keeps 70% of his salary. Okay, not so you can see here they spend more, but in terms of the salary is only 30%. That's why their overall saving is 50% lower as compared to the B. The overall savings is higher, 70%. Okay, not? So you got higher income, but it's only 28% that go to your expenses. Alright. $201. So 200 out of 900. %. So what is the net profit margin? 100 divided by 900. 11, you can take here lah, 11%. Okay. So if my sales is 100 unit, 1,000, cost is $6 per unit. Okay, if my selling price, which is $10 and the cost is 6, if everything goes up by 10%, so 1 unit 1,011, the cost is $6.60. What is my GP margin? Up by 10%, up by 10%. So higher by 10, so my profit also higher by 10%. So what is my GP margin? 40 and 40. Okay, so maintain. When your costs up by 10%, you sell to your customer extra 10%. So actually you can see from here, even though it's 10, but you notice or not, your profit is higher by also 10 in terms of dollar lah. 10% lah, in terms of dollar is $40. Okay, so now if I give you one example, if it's $10 and $6, up by 10%. Okay, my cost is up by 10%, but if my cost up, if I sell to my customer higher, extra 10%, they will run away. So my cost increase because of the petrol price go up, because of the tax I need to pay, so my purchase cost, everything goes up, but I can't charge my customer too high. So all I can do is to increase only by 5%. So what happened to my margin? Do you think I will see a higher or lower margin? Cost up by 10, but my selling price can only up by 5. So you will see overall margin down by down lah. Okay, if my cost up by 20%, so I take the advantage telling my customer, you see all the costs up, everything, exchange rate also drop, so I have to charge you a higher selling price. So you take this advantage and charge 25% extra. You will see a increase in margin. Okay. Alright, so this is net profit and gross profit margin. So we look at these two examples. Company A and company B. Okay, it seems that now company B is better, is higher, so we focus on selling price and cost. So it's higher than 49, so probably A, B, they sell at a higher selling price. Maybe they sell luxury goods. Okay, they know they're well known for their reputation, the quality, so their selling price is higher, therefore margin higher. It can also be because of their cost is lower, because company B, okay, they are a bigger company, therefore they are able to achieve or order at a bulk, in bulk, they can order in bulk, hence they can achieve they can ask for a bulk discount lah. Okay, so cost will drop. So either one. Then we look at number 2, net profit margin. So based on this example here, net profit margin, we try to look at the expenses. Net profit margin increase from 10 to 12. Net profit increase from 10 to 12. If you look at the GP margin, unchanged. So if you do not know these two here, example, net profit margin increase from 10 to 12. GP margin is same. So what is the contributing factor? It is the expenses. So we look at here 30% and here is 28. Oh, why the margin are up? Because proportionally the expenses is lower. So for net profit margin, we look at expenses. But take note also, our net profit margin, based on this example, you sell 100%, you minus 60%, you minus 30%, so you minus 60 and 30, you left with 10. So net profit margin is affected by cost, is affected by expenses, but cost and sales is already explained in GP margin. Therefore, when come to net profit margin, we explain expenses. Okay, so net profit margin 33 is higher than A 25. Focus on expenses. So you check 49 gross and now 25, drop by how much? 24%. 60.8 expenses is 24%, 60.8 now 33.3. expenses is 27.5%. Means every $1, 27 cents will go to expenses, but for company A is only 24. So company A manage their expenses better. So they may have lower net profit margin, but overall their expenses better managed by company A. Okay, we focus on the expenses. Okay, we have ROCE. ROCE is your operating profit divided by capital employed. Okay, capital employed will be shareholders' equity plus long-term debt E plus D. Okay, E plus D. Can you also put there, or total asset minus current liability? Total asset minus current liability. I'll explain this later. Okay, so operating profit divided by capital employed. So 20,000 and 16,000. Divided by capital employed, which is shareholders' equity plus debt. Equity plus debt. Equity is shareholder. So capital plus reserves is equity. So this is equity. Capital plus reserves equity means shareholder put in 34,000 and the company make 12,000. So this is retained in the business. All this also belongs to shareholder, belongs to shareholder, belongs to shareholder because they invest, and the invest make money. Money also belongs to them, belongs to shareholder. So it's equity. All this belongs to shareholder. Equity. And then shareholder pump in 46, they borrow 15. So now how much they have now? They have 46 from shareholder, they have 15 from borrowing, they now have 61,000 as capital. So we call this capital employed. Capital employed is equity plus debt. Equity plus debt. Okay, so 61,000 is capital employed, net asset, which is a total asset minus liability. Total asset minus current liability. Example, we know asset equals to asset minus liability equals to equity. Total asset means my current asset, non-current asset, plus current asset minus current liability minus non-current liability equals to equity. So transfer my non-current liability to this side. So it will be non-current asset plus current asset minus current liability equals to equity plus non-current liability. So this is total asset minus current liability equals to equity plus debt. So that's why equity plus debt equals to total asset minus current liability. So when you look at the textbook, you will see different formula, but they're actually the same. So how much is the capital employed from shareholder plus borrow? Let's say you have $1 from shareholder, you have $1 from the debt, borrow, you have now got $2. But here, equity is 46 and 15. 46 from shareholder, 15 is borrowing. These are my capital employed. So it is 20,000 and 61,000. So capital is 61 and profit is 20, so answer is 32. Okay, capital employed. So this one is to measure the management. Okay, you use 61,000 as capital and you make 32% return as your profit. Okay, and this is profit before interest and tax. ROE, E is equity shareholder, so it will be profit after tax minus preference dividend divided by equity shareholder fund, means your equity. So profit after tax minus preference dividend. So this is our profit after tax, and this one belongs to the company because after I have my sales, I less all the way my expenses, I rub this off. Okay, sales all the way to your profit, this one belongs to shareholder. And I have ordinary shareholder, I got preference shareholder. Ordinary and preference. Who must I pay first? I must pay preference shareholder first. The balance only belongs to ordinary shareholder. So this example has got no preference shareholder. So 15,005, you've got preference minus up preference shareholder, the balance will belongs to ordinary shareholder. And how many shares, how many what is the investment by shareholders? Equity is 46. Equity is 46. So ordinary shareholder has got 46 and 15,005 minus 0 belongs to them. How many percent belongs to them? So this is the return on equity, so it is 33.7%. so this is for shareholder. Okay, this one for company's point of view, company's performance good, selling price higher or cost lower for company B. In terms of performance, yeah, expenses A is better. In terms of performance, management performance, they make more money from 61,000, 20,000. So they B make more money from their investment. For last one, ROE is shareholders return. So their return is 33, company B is 30. So not much different. Alright, that is number one. Done. Profitability ratio. Okay, next we have a liquidity ratio. Liquidity will be current asset, current liability, short-term asset, short-term liability. So short-term asset, short-term liability will be current asset, current liability, 19,282. So this is current asset, this is current liability. Means $2.34 divided by $1. Means $1 of short-term liability, I will have $2.34 of current asset to cover. So this to check on company's liquidity. Do I have enough cash to pay the $1 liability? Yes, I got $2.34 short-term asset. Short-term asset is like your inventory, trade receivable, bank. This one will be your current liability, will be your trade payable. Bank overdraft. Okay, bank overdraft. So you have $1 to pay, but luckily you have $2.34 to cover. For company B, 161.1. You have one liability to pay short term, but you only have 161 to pay. So in terms of liquidity, A seems to have better liquidity, means cash, okay, to settle their obligation, which means they are settle their liability. Suitably, it will be 2 or higher. So this one is 2, this one is 1.6, not so good lah, a bit dangerous. Because you got no money to pay means the supplier, the bank can sue you. Okay, not they can force you to pay, especially the bank lah. That's why we want to know your liquidity. Are you able to service your liability? So current ratio done. Quick asset ratio is the same formula, but you take out the inventory. Okay, so 19200, take out the inventory. Inventory is 4002. So it's 1.83, 1.25. So ideally it should be 1 to 1 lah, 1. So over here is 1.83 to 1. So you have taken out the inventory. We left with trade receivable, bank. Okay, so these are liquid asset. So why we want to take out inventory? You see, inventory, trade receivable and bank, how fast can they convert into cash? So inventory, you still have to sell it to get your trade receivable. Your receivable will then wait and wait and wait before they pay you cash. So collect. This one will take some time. Trade receivables straight away cash. Bank immediately becomes cash. So this one not so liquid, so we take it out. So we want liquid asset, very liquid asset. So we call this acid test ratio. So tomorrow if there's someone were to ask me to pay $1, do I have the ability to pay? Yes, 1.83. Okay, all right. So ideally if it's 1 to 1, it should be okay lah. Not 0.7 to 1 means not good lah, huh? This one okay, but for current ratio ideally it should be 2 to 1. Okay, this one okay, this one also okay. However, when you calculate, you realize that the company is 1 to 1.8, 1.2, so it's okay. So the company, both company, no liquidity problem. Debt management ratio, we focus only on gearing ratio. Okay, gearing ratio. Gearing ratio is total long-term debt divided by the gearing ratio is to calculate debt. Debt divided by equity plus debt. Debt divided by equity plus debt. So you can see equity and debt. Equity and debt is actually our capital employed. Alright, capital employed. So debt is, company has got a debt. Sometimes the company, you can see here, company may have a lot of profitability, got profit, sometimes you don't see cash. That's why we look at the liquidity. Got profit, no cash, also useless. So we look at the liquidity. And then the company may have actually a lot of profit, but actually most of the profit is from debt. Borrow. So not good also. So we want to see the company's level of debt. Debt will be 10% debt. This is the interest. Means you have to pay 1,500 here. Okay, so debt is 15. Is it high or low? Out of the equity plus debt means out of the capital employed, means in total they have 61,000 as capital. 15 is from debt. how many percent is that? It is 24%. So ideally, if it's less than 50%, it will be good. So 24, 29, both below 50, both debt level are low. Okay, not high, low. Okay, but just take note. Gearing ratio, debt equity plus debt. Sometimes the formula can also be debt divided by equity, so it can be both. So higher level, the examiner will tell you, okay, gearing ratio calculator is using which formula. They must tell, otherwise either one also possible. So earlier we say it must be less than 50%, then will be good. So if you use this formula, it should be 100%. Below 100%, okay. But using this formula, number one, example, the first formula, the second formula lah. The second formula, below 100%, consider okay. Okay. Now, how to determine, or how to remember whether is it 50 or 100%? Use $1. Debt equity, shareholder give you, invest $1. At the same time, you borrow $1. So what is your level of debt? Means your gearing ratio, 1 plus 1. So 50%. What do you mean by this? Out of $2 capital, half of them is debt. So 50% is debt, manageable. By use this formula, this is equity, this is debt. Shareholder pump in $1, you borrow $1. So your debt level, when you compare shareholder pump in $1, debt $1, so you got $2. So you compare debt and equity is 1 to 1, so not an issue. 100%. Is it okay? So if I were to tell you, the company's gearing is 63%. Gearing means the level of debt is 63%. Okay or not okay? %. Gearing is 63%. So the next question you should ask is, this one not sure. Why? Because the next question you have to ask, is it based on this formula or is it based on this formula? Okay, now gearing is 63% is based on the first formula, then it is not okay, because it's based on first formula, it must be below 50. So now you got 63, not good. But if it is based on the second formula, it's based on second formula, then it's okay, because less than 100%. Okay, so this is gearing ratio. So leverage also you can ignore, because even high level we don't care about leverage. This one also not an important ratio. So gearing ratio is important. And interest cover, you have your loan, is it high or low? The next thing, if we want to know, we can actually cover the interest or not with our profit. So it's operating profit divided by interest. Okay, this is operating profit, 20,000. We have already paid expenses, costs, expenses, and profit before interest and tax. So this 20,000 we must pay interest. So you take PBIT minus divide by interest. 20,000 have to pay interest. So how many times? My profit can cover my interest 13.3 times. You look at the second one. My profit is 16. I have to pay interest 1,000. So my profit can cover my interest 16 times. The higher, the better. So ideally, 4 times is considered acceptable. So this one 13 times, 16 times means the company's no problem in paying, no problem servicing interest. They have enough profit to serve their interest, service their interest. Okay, so it's not high risk. Their debt is low. Debt is low. With the profit they generated is enough to pay the interest. Okay, more than enough. 4 times will be sufficient. Means you got 4,000 profit, 1,000 interest, 4 times is considered good enough. But this one 13 and 16 more than enough. No issue in terms of servicing interest. Right? Now be careful here. Because the formula is profit before interest and tax, PBIT divided by interest. Okay, I use this example question, yeah. So example here, you have a net profit before tax, but the formula is before interest and tax. Before interest and tax. So what must you do? This is profit before tax, means it's profit after tax, after interest. So what you do is already minus 18 to get 12. You want a profit before interest, you add back. Okay, now 12 is profit before interest, after interest, before tax, after interest. I repeat, sorry. So 12 is before tax, but it's after interest. But the formula is we want before interest, so you take 18 plus back 38, so 50 will be the profit before interest, before tax. $50 will be profit before interest and tax. So be careful, sometimes you have to plus, if it's not given, add back the interest to get profit before interest and tax. Okay, this is question set lah. Right, next. We got the efficiency ratio. Efficiency, we got inventory, receivable, payable and asset turnover. Inventory, we got 2. It can be in times. Formula will be in days first lah. inventory, receivable, collection period, also in days, and payable, payment period in days. If in month, then you times by 12 lah. Alright, so formula, inventory, you take average inventory, average receivable, average payable. So inventory, you start with average inventory, receivable, average receivable, and payable, you start with average payable. Okay lah? Inventory divide by cost of sales. This one you divide by sales, must be credit sales, on loan or debt, credit sales, and credit purchase. Okay, so what is average? Average is inventory is opening plus closing divide by 2 is average. Means opening inventory plus closing inventory divide by 2. Opening plus closing divide by 2 is the average receivable. Same for payable. So opening plus closing divide by 2 is average. Okay, so if it's in times, and inventory turnover in times, it will be terbalik, cost of sales divided by average inventory. Okay, this is in number of times. So example, if my cost of sales opening plus closing 100 plus 200 divide by 2 is my average. $150 divided by 300 times 365 means 182.5 days. What does this mean? So 100 plus 200 divided by 300, opening plus closing divided by 2, yeah, to get average, times 365, 182.5 days. So meaning the inventory in 365 days, I buy here 182 days, it will be turnover. Buy and then I sell and sell and sell means I buy, I sell and sell and sell and sell. So 182 days it becomes 0. I will buy again, I will sell and sell and sell and sell and sell. That will be another 182.5 days. Okay, not so it will be turnover every 182. So let's say this is Ferrari, normal lah. Okay, imagine this is a bread newspaper. Turnover you buy, and you buy the bread turnover after half a year only you sell. This one cannot be lah. So that's why when by looking at the turnover, we will know the kind of product they are selling. Okay, not? So this is 182. Now this is in days, is in times, terbalik. cost of sales divided by average inventory. Cost of sales will be 300, inventory will be average will be 150. So how many times? 2 times. You check 182 days and 2 times, are they the same? Actually they are same. You can see here, turnover 1 time, turnover 2 times. Okay. Okay, yeah, just finish replying a message. Okay, so if it's in days, means how long does it take for it to turn over? By last 182 days, then sell, you replenish. Okay, restock, and then you buy again, of course you restock, and then you can last for another 182 days. So 1 year will be 2 times. So 182 2 times. So actually you can convert. Example, if it's 90 days turnover, means buy, on average you sell, 90 days, buy again, sell. So actually how many times turnover? Is about 4 times. So how to find the exact? You take 365 divide by what you given, that 90 days. Okay, so 365 divided by 90 is about 4.05 times lah. Okay, 4 times. So to convert from days to times, you take 365, you divide. Okay. Now what happen if you are given, listen not given lah, 4 times. 4 times. What if you are given here, one more example, if it's 60 days, how many times? Is around 365, you divide by 60, so it's about 6 times. Okay, what happens if you are given, let's say 3 times? So find how many days. 365 divide, so divide by 3 times. It's about 121 or 0.7 days. Okay, so you convert lah. Okay, so you convert from one to the other, always take 365, divide 365 and divide. Right, so this is for inventory. Trade receivable. So inventory, for this example here, average inventory, we have opening, we have closing. 4842 divide by 2 to get the average, divide by 6 to divide by cost of sales. So cost of sales will be 40,600 times 365. So you should get 40.5 days. So this is one formula in times, this one is in days. Okay, so can I convert from 40 to times? Yes, you take 365 divide by 40.5 days. So it's 9 times. So it's about 40 days turnover your inventory. This one probably you sell tables and chairs, not Ferrari. Okay, not? So you sell tables and chairs, turnover for about 40 days. You hold the stock for 40 days. So 1 year you turn over about 9 times lah. Buy, sell, 9 times. Okay. So receivable will be average receivable. Means opening plus closing receivable. Okay, 9,000 sales 79. So we should take opening plus closing divided by 2 to get the average. But if there is no information, then we take closing. No information on opening, so we take only closing. So closing. So what does this mean? Means today you sell, you take about 41 days to collect. The other company take 45 days to collect. So not too bad lah. So within 41 days you are able to collect back from your customer. Okay. So this is average receivable and payable. Payable will be start with average. If it's payable, start with payable. Average payable divided by purchase times 365. No opening, you can't find average. We take closing. Closing is 8,002 divided by purchase. Purchase is 40,000. 8,000 to 40,000. Okay, so today you buy, you take about 2 months plus to pay. Company B take about 5 months plus to pay. So why is it taking so long? Liquidity problem. Why take so long to pay? Is it liquidity problem? But earlier we already checked on the liquidity. The company has got 1.25 to 1, no liquidity problem. Okay, more than 1, the company has got no liquidity problem. So why are they taking so long to pay? So probably they purposely delay payment, keep the cash, delay payment. Okay, not? So sometimes you delay payment, keep the cash, supplier not happy lah. Okay, not? Supplier delay payment. Looks like they purposely delay payment lah, because they have no liquidity problem. So when you delay payment, they may increase the price. Supplier may increase price. Okay, not? Because you keep delay payment, they increase price. They may also withhold stock. They are not going to sell to you until you pay. So they may increase price, they may withhold the stock. Okay, okay. Yes? Okay. Withhold the stock. Held back the stocks. Okay, and the last one will be on asset turnover. Asset turnover will be sales divided by capital employed, which is actually equity plus debt, or it can be total asset minus current liability. So just now where capital employed is 46 plus 15, our sales is 79,600. So you have $1.30 divided by 1. So you have 1.3 times. Okay, so what do you mean by 1.3 times? Means every $1 you use as your capital, you generate $1.30 sales. Higher sales, higher chance of profit. So higher is better, asset turnover. Okay, 1.0 means you invested $1 and you generate $1.07. Compared to A generate more sales, chances of higher profit will be better. Chances of higher profit will be better. Okay, higher than company B. So 1.3 times. Okay, so this is asset turnover. Sales divided by capital employed. So why we call it asset turnover? Because capital employed can also be total asset minus current liability. That is why this is actually part of your asset. So $1 invested in your asset, you make $1.30 sales. Higher is better. Is it okay? So you have all this formula to measure the company's performance. So one thing you have to take note is, especially for this one, average trade payable divided by purchase. Sometimes, okay, so this is question 3 of your note, yeah. Oops. So this is question 3. If it's trade payable, example, they ask for payable turnover. So the formula is average payable divided by purchase times 365. So based on this example, question 3, page 68, where do we get the payable? Payable we look at here. Payable is 15. Take note now, this is 217, 218. Just now is company A, company B. This is 217, 218. So we have both here. So this is closing. This is closing for 2008, closing for 2017. Okay. So do we have average? If you can't find average, then we take closing. So 2000 we have 12 divided by purchase. 12 divided by purchase. So do we have purchase? You check here. We don't have purchase, but we got cost of sales. Okay, cost of sales is opening inventory plus purchase closing inventory to get cost of sales or cost of goods sold. So this is 2007, 2008. So what is my opening inventory for 2007? 50. What is my closing for 2007? 20. And cost of sales is 150. So with that I can find my purchase. Okay, so my purchase is 120. So transfer to here, 120 times 365. Okay, you can do the same for 2008. We know closing for 2007, will be opening for 2008. Closing for 2007 will be opening for 2008. What is the closing inventory? 30. What is the purchase? Not sure. Cost of sales? 210. So can we find the purchase? 220. Okay, so what is the average payable for 2007, 2008? Average payable, no average, we use closing payable. Chap. Oh sorry, this is 15, yeah. 2017 is 15. This is chap. Divide by 220 times 365. Okay, so later when you use your inventory turnover in times, you need to have opening plus closing. You take your opening and closing, so 50 plus closing of 20 divide by 2, average divide by cost of sales. Cost of sales you can take from here, 150 times 365. This is inventory turnover in days, but they want in times, and then you just switch over only lah. Okay, now all this answer is provided here. Question 1, question 2, and question 3. So all the formula is all the answer is provided lah. So just now we did this already lah. Okay, and inventory in times, can we convert into days? Yeah, example, you want to convert into days, you terbalik them. 250 this one divide by 210 times 365, or you can just take 365 divided by 8.4, you can get the days. Alright, so this one will be your homework, and then in your notes you also have one question here, very similar one. I just copy and paste over, and the answer, this is one GP margin, you put in gross profit divide by sales times 100%, and then only you put in, okay, how much is your sales, how much is it here? Okay, answer all provided. You can try lah. Okay, so this one I didn't discuss, you can skip this one, and that's about it lah.